Hi guys. So I want to come and do a video today about getting married young. So I got married when I was 20 years old. I met my husband when I was 18 years old, and we've been together ever since. I was fresh out of high school after I met him. I graduated in May, met him July 4th, literally July 4th, and yeah, we've been rocking ever since. And when we got engaged, a lot of people back home, because I had moved when I was 18 also, from Georgia to New Mexico to be with my other family, a lot of friends, my sister's friends, who were also our age or in their early 20s were like, why would you get married? You're so young. You need to go live your life. You haven't experienced life yet. Now, I've learned that when people say you haven't lived your life yet, they mean you haven't stuck around. You haven't experienced other men. You haven't partied. You know, for me, as I've gotten older, I've learned that for me, the definition of live your life means go to school, get an education, learn more about yourself. Now, that's what my mother had wanted me to do. But as far as the younger people who were telling me to live my life, they meant the other definition. And I was never about that. I wasn't a virgin when I met my husband, but I wasn't out there either. So, yeah, I got married to him. And the reason why I got married to him was because he was different. He was different. Now, my husband is 6 years older than I am. So he was 24 when I met him. But he was different. He wasn't like the other guys I've dated. Duh. One, he was older. He was established. He had his own career. And he knew what he wanted. And he wanted me. But I think what made me marry him was this one thing here. When I needed something, I never had to ask for it. I never had to ask for anything that I wanted or that I needed. I could make mention of it, and he would just go get it. He was a natural provider, which men are supposed to be. But when I saw that in him, something just clicked. I don't know what it was. Now, I'm not a gold digger or anything. I'm not saying I married him because he could take care of me. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying was that I saw that he was a natural provider. Also, he was all about me. He was all about me. He consumed himself in me, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed to have someone who wanted me more than I wanted them. Because when I dated in high school, I noticed that I was wanting the guy more than he wanted me. Now, in high school, I was in a 2.5 year relationship with someone, and it was nice. However, I found myself begging for love. And I never wanted to do that again, because I stopped that relationship. We ended that relationship when we were seniors, mutually ended it. And we didn't end it on bad terms, but we were in two different spaces at that time, and we had recognized that. And so we mutually ended the relationship, and I'm glad we did. But yeah, but I don't know. It's just when you know, you know. Like, no one can tell you. You just know. But yeah, he consumed himself in me, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. I enjoyed having someone who wanted to be with me. I enjoyed having someone who wanted me around. I enjoyed having someone who wanted to spend their time with me, and I didn't have to ask for it. He just naturally wanted me. It was almost like he needed me just as much as I needed him. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that about him. And he wasn't about games. He wasn't. And I thought my age would have been an issue because, like I said, he was 24 when I met him. I was 18, and I would always ask, "You don't feel weird being with a younger girl? Like, I have a young heart, like I have a young heart. Like, you have to get used to me growing up." Now, I've always been mature for my age, but I would ask him, like, "You don't mind being with a younger girl?" I mean, I still have growing to do. I have learning to do. I mean, I don't know everything, but you're more stable than I am. And I always use that word stable when I talk to my husband because he is stable. He's still more stable than I am. I mean, I'm still learning, still growing, still in school. I work, yes. We have a family, yes. But naturally, he is still more stable than I am. And he would tell me, Shaquan, your age has nothing to do with our relationship. I want to be with you. You want to be with me. I love you. You love me. We're going to make it work. You're mature for your age. You know, you have a good head on your shoulder. And that's what I love about you. He will always tell me that. And he would say, age doesn't matter regardless right now in our relationship. That does not matter. You don't act your age. And I love that about you. And I was like, okay, cool. So I guess I married him because it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. I knew at a younger age I wanted to be married before I was like 22, 23, whatever. I knew I wanted to be married early at a younger age. I did not want to be married after 25. I didn't want to do that. The reason being was because I like dating, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to be established in something. I wanted to be someone's wife. I wanted to be someone's only one. I've never been crazy about hooking up with random people. I've never been crazy about partying. I've never been crazy about staying up late at night, clubbing. That's never been me. Never been me. I've never been interested in that. I'm a homebody at heart. And so with me being a homebody and me like being in relationships, I like being in tune with one person and not worrying about multiple people, because that was never me and that's never been me. I don't ever want that to become of me. So, you know, I knew what I wanted, and I would pray all the time. When I was like 16, 17 years old, I would be praying to God, like, God, send me a husband. And some people may say, well, you know, you're too young to be thinking about a husband. To each his own. Because you don't do one thing doesn't mean someone else doesn't want that for their lives. You know, so to each his own. That's what I wanted, and I got that. And I am happy. I'm happy with that. Is marriage easy? No, especially being young. Because I think when you're younger, you have more temptations because you have more opportunities. And they're new opportunities and experiences. And they're first for most of us. So being young, married young is hard. It is hard. Because like I said, it's those temptations and those opportunities out there. However, we make it work. We make it work. And I like it. Are there some things that I wish I would have changed before getting married? Yes. But I think at any age, anyone would say that there are things that even if you got married at 30 or 40, there are still different things you wish you could have done differently before getting married, because you don't know everything going into a marriage. Any new experience that's new to you, you're not going to know everything going into it. You will never be prepared for I don't care how much you prepare for yourself for marriage, you'll never be prepared for it until you're actually married and you deal with experiences face to face. And that's something that I learned, because when it comes to a committed relationship, when it comes to marriage, you'll never fully know anything about the other person. I don't even care if y'all lived together for so many years. Marriage is a whole different ball game. It's funny because when I think about marriage now, when I was in high school, I literally said this. I used to say, marriage is nothing but being boyfriend and girlfriend and changing your last name. I used to say that, but how wrong was I? I realized how ignorant I was after I got married and realized it's 100 times worse than what I thought it would be than just being a boyfriend and girlfriend, because I thought being boyfriend and girlfriend was hard with somebody. Marriage is a different ball game. But here's the funny thing about my marriage, being married to my husband. We were not boyfriend and girlfriend before we got married. We weren't even boyfriend and girlfriend before we got engaged. We weren't. I didn't want to put that label on us. I would say that we were just friends, but we knew what we were going into. And people would say, well, you had to be boyfriend and girlfriend. No, we didn't. We didn't. I was just his and he was mine. That's what it was. I was his and he was mine. When people would introduce us to their friends or other couples, they wouldn't say boyfriend and girlfriend. They would say, no, she's spoken for that. She's his. He's hers. There's no one else. And that's what it was. And I know it's weird for people, but I didn't want to put a label on this, because we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. We weren't that. We were almost in like a courtship, if you would say. It wasn't perfect, but that's what it was, you know. So we just knew what we were getting into before we got married. But yeah, marriage, like I said, it's a ball game, especially when you're younger, you know. So that's just why I got married. Got married because I knew he would be a good provider, and because he loved me, like he consumed himself in me. Like I think when you meet someone who's just as into you as you are into them, and you're linked in the mind to where you want your future to go, and you're both on that same path to that one goal that you want, that's to be with each other forever. That's the person you need to be with, especially a person who's doing everything they can to make that goal come true with you, to make that happen. That's the person you need to be with. No one who's going to stall and you're both on different pages. No, you want to be on the same page. And that's why I married him, because he had the same mindset as I did. He wanted the same thing I did, and that was just to be with me. And he committed. He took the time to ask my uncle for his blessing, my mom, my aunt. He took the time to make sure that I had everything I needed. He was there every step of the way. He was. He cared about my well-being. And there's more to the story. More to the story how I also knew he was the one. Because, you know, he's in the military, so he had ended up deploying. He had to do stuff with his cars, his accounts. And he showed his trust in me to handle most of the things that that needed to be done when he was gone. He trusted me, and I appreciated that. So yeah, so I just want to give some encouragement to people who are young and who are married. It works, you know, if y'all know how to communicate, and communication is not always perfect. You're not gonna always know how to speak to that person. You're not gonna always know how to speak their love language in the beginning. It's rocky, but if you just stick with it, and if you hang in there and you just stay with it, you can make it work.